Guys, I'm Brayden StarFox, and this is a series that I was talking about in the live. If anyone watched it, I'm pretty sure no one did because, it was me and I'm new and no one really knew it, and it was a pretty long video, so no one saw it. Just joking. This is a series that I've been hoping to do. It was originally going to be done on my channel, however, then I became an Aspire member and I decided to bring it over here because then I can help more people with it over here since it is a community channel. So, essentially what this series is what the hell? Someone sends me a set on my server. Plug not intended. But as you can see on the screen, it says Combat Mystic Dugtrio. I asked, give me sets that I can make like data sheets on them and do a video on them. So he gave me the standard Dugtrio set, and I'm going to tell you every itty little bit that's referenceable. So anything you need to know or should know that will actually be useful in versing or using Dugtrio is right here. So I'm hoping to do 2 of these a month, and let's get started. So this week we have the standard Dugtrio set, as I said, so just attack, speed, earthquake, stealth rocks, final gambit, reversal, etc, etc, focus sash. So if we go over here, you can see this set's purpose is to do 2 things: trap mons like Magnezone, Heatran, or to be a suicide lead. This is pretty self-explanatory. Because it has the ability Arena Trap, where is it? I think I forgot to put it, here it is. So abilities over here. So abilities are Sandveil, Arena Trap, and Sandforce. You're like 9 times out of 10 you are running Arena Trap unless it's banned for some reason. But if it's banned, you're not going to really be running it in OU, since the only reason Dugtrio is up so high is because of Arena Trap. This is because mons like, can't scroll, mons like Magnezone and Heatran are 4 times weak to ground, so obviously you bring it in, you stop them from switching out, unless of course they're running an air balloon, and then you just OHKO them with Earthquake. Of course Magnezone gets sturdy, but no one runs sturdy in OU. So if there is nothing that you see needing to be trapped on the opponent's team, what you'd usually do is just bring it in straight up, stealth rocks, final gambit, reversal, earthquake, whatever. Just keep on hitting until they kill you, unless they want to set up, then of course you change it up. But over here we can go on to the speed tiers. Now Dugtrio is extremely fast. 120 is 172, I believe. 172, 183. I think it's 172. But basically, Dugtrio speed ties with Alakazam, Sceptile, Arceus, Mega Salamence, and Minior. Now, of course, Minior would set up as Shell Smash on you, but that's a pretty good speed tier to tell you. And of course, that Minior would be, like, its shields down would have activated by now. So, Mega Salamence, very fast. So, just knowing that it speed ties Alakazam, Sceptile, and Arceus is pretty good. It outspeeds stuff like Salazzle, Raikou, Cinccino, which is very important if you're in the lower tiers especially, Nihilego if they're not running Scarf. Scarf Nihilego has gone down because obviously it's a really good stealth rocker and it's special defensive wall. Base 110 to 118 mons such as Gengar, and Scarf base 60 mons. Now, when you can outspeed stuff that you trap, it's very good. Now of course you still get outsped by Scarf Heatran, but Scarf Heatran is rarely run. So Scarf base 60 is like Magnezone, that's your Incineroar. You still get outsped by Timid Scarf Hoopa. There's just like little things that can be really helpful. You're not going to notice it a lot of the time because you're just going to say, oh, 240, I outspeed 260. If we go down to moves, these are the moves that are going to be viable in some situation if you want, if you just want to know what Dugtrio does. So of course, ground moves, Earthquake Bulldoze, gets Aerial Ace if you're going up against a Heracross or something. Again, these sets can be used, this isn't just for OU, it's for any sort of play. So it's the Mon, it's not just the tier. So Stone Edge, Rock Slide, Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb is for lowering speed, Rock Slide's just in case if you don't want to miss as much with Stone Edge and if you want to get flinches. Stealth Rock of course, Memento of course, Memento gives you a lot of momentum, pun not intended. Final Gambit, obviously more momentum, lets you deal a bit of damage. Substitute, in case you're versing something like Chansey, it can really help. Toxic, of course, if you want suicide, toxic something. Same with taunt, endure, protect, screech. Screech is for Chansey, so that you can go with a screech, you can do a reversal. I believe you have enough HP to live 2 seismic tosses, and then you hit it with a reversal, and then after screech I'm pretty sure you kill it. And then dig, don't quote me on that. Sucker Punch, of course, priority. Night Slash, if anything outspeeds you, that is. Night Slash is another dark move. Pursuit Trapping is always good if they're a ghost type, because obviously ghost types are immune to trapping. So things like Shadow Tag and Arena Trap do not work on ghost types. Shadow Claw, it's the same as Night Slash, only it's a ghost move in case you still want to hit fairies. You'd only really run that if it's like 1 or 2 attacks and you're not running Earthquake. I don't know why you would. Hone Claws, obviously, if you want to substitute, set up, Stone Edge, Rock Slide, whatever. Sandstorm, suicide move, obviously. HP Ice for dragons, HP Fire for things like Forestress. Z moves that you can commonly see, I'm sorry for having that in the corner. Ground, Rock, Dark, and Fighting. Fighting will help against normal, like just standard all round, especially against normal types and rock types. Same with ground. Ground Z move will help against trapping a lot, because sometimes with Dugtrio's base 100, it will barely miss out on a kill. Rock is very good against flying types, and Dark, of course, ghost types. If we go over here, these are move substitutions for this set, okay? So instead of Earthquake, you can run Bulldoze to lower their speed, the same with Rock Tomb, or you can run Dig if you're running Toxic, because if you're running Toxic, obviously they're going to take 2 turns because you're underground. Stealth Rocks is, you always want Stealth Rocks on this thing. Unless you're running a Choice Band, you always have Stealth Rocks, but of course this set doesn't run the Choice Band. So, there we go. Final Gambit, you can run Memento over it. Obviously that affects offensive teams more, but Final Gambit can stop walls, quotation marks. You can put Toxic in, another suicide move. These are all basically suicide moves except for Pursuit and Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch will allow you to hit stuff like Pheromosa, sort of, like if you chip it down. And then Pursuit, of course, we already talked about that. Reversal, you can still run Taunt, Toxic, Stone Edge, and Rock Sliders. Like, you want to run Stone Edge, but if you want to rely on the flinch or you just don't like missing, you can run Rock Slide. But remember, if you run Rock Slide over Stone Edge, you're going to miss out on more kills, so you will have to rely on the flinch more often. Of course, Sucker Punch is still there. Abilities, we talked about them. Items that they will commonly run are Focus Sash, Life Orb. Choice Scarf is for like dealing with Pheromosa, non-Choice Scarf Pheromosa, of course. And Focus Sash, Choice Band, Life Orb, Choice Scarf. It can also run stuff like Mental Herb on like tech sets and stuff, but it's not really worth it. You can run max HP and max speed just for a little bit extra bulk. If you don't think that you're going to be hitting a lot of stuff, go with that, because then you can run like Toxic, Taunt, Endure, Protect, Screech, Reversal, all that stuff. And then if we go over here, these are the checks and counters. Now, sorry about that. Of course, because of how frail Dugtrio is, it doesn't counter a lot of stuff. So let me go through this. Tornadus, these are the checks. These are the checks to Dugtrio. Basically, most of these are either faster, doesn't die, or isn't trapped. Because if Dugtrio can't trap something and it can't OHKO it, it's sort of a problem. So you got your Tornadus and your 2 laddies right here. They can't be trapped, and of course they can one-shot it if they want to. Flygon, another Levitator, it actually sets up on Dugtrio because now it gets Dragon Dance. It can set up on it if it doesn't taunt it. But remember, Dugtrio can also get Stealth Rocks up, it can also Toxic you. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. Bulky water types can usually just demolish Dugtrio, especially since Scald can burn. Most of the time Scald's going to take them down to 1 HP, or maybe 5 HP if you're lucky, and then the burn will kill them, but remember that's 30% chance. So that means you're not going to get Mementoed, you're not going to get anything, so they're either taunted or got Stealth Rocks up. Bulky, just grass types in general can't do anything. Of course it does get Aerial Ace, but that's not really going to affect it, because a lot of grass types don't take very much from it. Unless it's Choice Band, then it maybe takes like 50-60%. But if it's Choice Band, it'll be late game, so it's not really going to matter. If you have a Tangrowth, it won't matter at all, unless they're running like Choice Band Toxic. Mega Venusaur absolutely walls it. There's nothing that it can do besides Memento and Stealth Rock. Maybe Taunt. But basically, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, sets up, Leech Seed, whatever you want. Even normal Venusaur can do this, but that goes into the Grass type category. Priority uses after the Sash is broken, so if you come into like Spikes and Stealth Rocks, Priority will usually one-shot you depending on the Mon. If it's a Priority Breaker, like say Hitmontop, Hitmontop can break walls with its massive Priority move wall, and Lopunny can do a ton to it. So, of course that doesn't really matter anymore because it outspeeds, but if you're Choice Scarf, it could. Pheromosa of course outspeeds unless you're running Choice Scarf, and Pheromosa with Choice Scarf would outspeed your Choice Scarf Dugtrio, which is pretty damn fast. Complete counters to Dugtrio besides just going straight for Memento. Gliscor, Skarmory, Celesteela, Landorus, and Mega Sableye. It can't do anything to Sableye except for Earthquake. It can't even set up hazards or anything. Landorus, that's supposed to be Landorus T. It's not going to let me do that right now. And so Landorus T, all you can really do is Toxic it, that's why Toxic gets used. And of course Double Dance sets up on it if you're not carrying Toxic. Celesteela, immune to Earthquake, can't be Toxic, can be Taunted, but it has to be flinched to death and it does like 3%, so have fun with that. Skarmory, exactly the same, sets up hazards against it, Whirlwinds it, Iron Heads it, Brave Birds it, Toxics it, Taunts it, whatever. Gliscor, it's already Toxic, and it sets up on it. There's nothing really to do, and it will also Toxic you to break your Sash. Now, what Dugtrio checks is, these are the main ones, like you can get technical on it, but these are the main ones. Check is different to counter, because check means that you can't always come in. Counter means that you can come in on the attack, and then kill them, or beat them. But a check means that you can still die coming in. That's why some of these are a bit iffy. Magnezone, obviously you trap it, you kill it. Heatran, you trap it and kill it, but you're not going to come in on a Lava Plume because then you get burnt and then your Sash is useless. Tyranitar, if you're running a reversal, you can do a lot, or if it's down low, you can run Earthquake. Of course, if they set up 2 Dragonesses, they can still kill you. Raikou, unless it's Choice Scarf Raikou and you're not Choice Scarf Dugtrio, but of course this set isn't. Raikou, you trap it, but if it's got a substitute up, it beats you, so you have to remember that. Terrakion, of course, Choice Scarf Terrakion will outspeed you, but if they're not, if they're running Rocky MZ or Fighting MZ, or just Life Orb or Choice Band in general, you do trap them, you do kill them if they're not running a Focus Sash, but you don't want to come in on an attack. Volcanion, exactly the same. Steam Eruption will burn you, probably. Mostly. It's highly likely. And you can do... I don't remember the calc off the top of my head. It's been a while since I put out this data sheet, so please forgive me. Alolan Muck, you don't really want to come in on it, because obviously a Crunch is going to do a lot. Or a knockoff, of course. But you do have a super effective Stab Earthquake to hit it back with. And getting rid of Muck can be very useful. Just remember that it does get Shadow Sneak, so if your Sash is broken, it could be a problem. Especially if it's Banded Muck, that is a thing. And of course, Alolan Marowak, very good Mon. If it has to get like 2 Flame Charges up at max speed, which is 218, to be able to beat you. So of course, you want to trap that before it can do anything, but getting rid of Alolan Marowak is very good, especially if you have electric types on your team. Now, the only really thing I found that Dugtrio counters is Galvanize Alolan Golem. But you can only counter that if you still have your Sash intact. So basically you come in, and if they Earthquake, you survive, but then they can't hit you back. Yeah. I believe so. Unless you got like a Sucker Punch Golem. But no, barely anyone runs that. Of course, Custap's banned. So that's all this. Now, the biggest part is this. This is the part that everyone's going to want to know about. This is team options. So this is stuff you want to put with Dugtrio, or that work well with Dugtrio in general. So stuff like Tornadus Therain, Togekiss, U-Turn Mega Pidgeot to gain that momentum. These are very useful because of Dugtrio's ability to trap and to get rid of mons like Heatran, Tyranitar, and Nihilego, and I guess you could say Magnezone, even though Tornadus outspeeds it. They are very helpful because Dugtrio lets you trap and get rid of them, so then these mons can do even better and not get trapped themselves. So it works out pretty well in the long run. Mons like Latios, Latiotwins I should say, Hydreigon, or Volcarona and Serperior with HP Fire, Ice, or Rock. Because Dugtrio is a ground type and it's got stab coverage, these mons work, but being able to take care of both Heatran and Scarf Tyranitar is the main reasons, because Heatran and Tyranitar do a lot to Serperior and Volcarona. Tyranitar mostly Volcarona, because Serperior has to be chipped down a bit for Tyranitar to be able to take it down, but if it's Life Orb, it's pretty simple to do that. Defog and Rapid Spinners are essential if you're planning on using Dugtrio effectively, mostly because of the Focus Sash. You want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So if you can find any effective Defog or Rapid Spinner on your team, it is very useful. However, I recommend if you're running Dugtrio, Rapid Spinners are the best way to go, because obviously you don't want to get rid of your suicide hazards, because obviously you only get one chance to get them up, and if you die you sort of can't do that unless you got a second one, but that's sort of counterproductive. Volt Turn users allow you to keep a lot of momentum and give a lot more opportunities for you to trap things like Magnezone, Heatran, and Tyranitar, and Nihilego, and stuff like that. Obviously, knowing what your opponent has out and stopping them from switching out is a very effective way of winning a match, or taking out mons to win the match, or just lower the differential if you're in league. Stall teams, I hate to say it, but Dugtrio is extremely effective on stall teams. It checks threatening stall breakers such as Mega Gardevoir, Choice Band, Tyranitar, and Heatran. Also, with Dugtrio's ability to beat Chansey, it can also beat other stall teams. So, in a stall v stall match, Screech, Reversal, Dugtrio beats Chansey. So if you have a Dugtrio and your opponent doesn't, or you take out his Dugtrio before your Dugtrio gets taken out by his team, it's a big cycle, but Dugtrio helps against other stall teams and just trapping in general, and it's so useful. Especially with this ability to take out Tyranitar, there won't be any pursuit trapping, which is very effective on stall teams. So this is Dugtrio, the set's right there. I'll probably put it in the description if I remember, but this is how you use it, this is how you beat it. It's not that great of a mon to start off with, but it's what I was given. Next time we'll be doing Double Dance Landorus Terrain, so that one's going to be a bit more in-depth, and I still got to finish the datasheet because there's a ton to do on that. So many variations. But as you can see, Dugtrio is very fast, very suicidal, and it just traps. The main thing you want to do is trap. Anyway, I'm Brayden StarFox, and I hope you guys had a good life. I'm out.